I remember thinking that blood cancer was the worst cancer that you could get because you can't cut it out. And when I got that, I thought, well, that's just typical for you to get that particular diagnosis. My treatment was on imatinib 9 years ago, and I had a few side effects with it. I had the upset stomachs and some headaches and little bits and pieces that can affect your everyday life. It's not pleasant, but the alternative is less pleasant, so you take your tablets at the same time every day and you just get on with it. But after 3 years, my levels had dropped really, really low. My blood counts were normal, but the levels of leukemia in my body weren't as low as they should have been. And my consultant at the time was in Birmingham, and he said, let's move you on to another drug, because I'm just not happy with the levels that you've achieved here. So we moved on to dasatinib. The key with funding is we have potentially a cure here. People don't like to use the cure word, but I'm happy, I'm a patient, I'm allowed. There is a cure here, and for funding to restrict that potential cure is a very, very poor decision. We've been talking about a cure for cancer ever since. So why are we now stopping treatments for it? It just doesn't make sense. And the reasons that we're given aren't good enough. At the moment, we don't even have a system that assesses our drugs properly. We can't even have a conversation with the pharmaceuticals about price, because the system doesn't allow for rarer cancers. For these small 650 of us, they don't like that. We have to have that a decent, robust appraisal system that looks after rarer cancers as well as the big cancers as well. So at the moment, the system's broken. It remains broken, and it will remain broken for the foreseeable future. We have a lot to thank pharma for developing these drugs. They cost billions of pounds. This is a commercial thing. They are allowed to make money out of it. Do I have a problem with how much money they make out of it? Yes, and that's what I talk to them about. Do I disagree with the way things are funded, that you can get a particular tablet in Wales and Scotland but not in England? Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So we have to make sure that the system is fair, and when I say fair, I mean fair to everybody. Fair to government to make sure that it is within budget, fair to pharma so they can make an element of profit. But let's not forget fair to the patient. These drugs keep us alive, and that's really the most important thing, and I feel that has been lost over the years. So with regard to a particular drug like ponatinib being available in Scotland and Wales but not available in England, it doesn't make any sense at all. This is a lottery of where you live, and it isn't right. And we have to make sure that patients are treated with absolute fairness. What has happened over the last 12-18 months is appalling. The way patients have been treated is appalling. We have a system that isn't working, that hasn't worked for around about 18 months, and we are failing patients. We're failing patients, they're going to die. If we don't get that appraisal process sorted out and make sure that it is fair to rarer cancers and harder to appraise cancers, we're going to kill people. So it's so important for government and NICE and all of these bodies to respond to patients and to respond to bodies and make sure that we have a fair system.